Buying a home is understandably a stressful and sometimes daunting process, and there's a lot of mistakes that can be made, and I think that's where a lot of that anxiety comes from. Now, the good news is all of those mistakes are very avoidable. Whether you're a first-time buyer or you've bought multiple homes, we're gonna go over these avoidable mistakes so that we can save you time and money. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Ryan Schramm. I'm broker and owner of Ryan Schramm Real Estate here in South Orange County. If you like YouTube videos, if you find that you get value out of them, and especially in the housing arena, subscribe to my channel. This is a great video too. If you know someone, a loved one or a friend who's gonna be buying a home soon, forward this to them. This could save them a lot of money and heartache. The first mistake that I see that is so avoidable is making sure that you are pre-approved with a lender. Now, if you really don't want to get pre-approved and you want to just start looking at houses, fine, let's go look at some houses. But here is why I would want you to be pre-approved first, is because when we go out and we look at property, we're going to find something that you like. And then you're going to start to want to buy that property. And I don't want to see you get your hopes up if your ducks aren't in a row for the pre-approval. Because if we go to make an offer, that listing agent's gonna say, hey, where's your pre-approval letter from the lender? My sellers wanna know that you can get your loan. So that's why it's so important to, first things first, let's get you sitting down with my lender, talk to them about your income, your credit, all of your qualifications. Let's figure out what kind of home can you afford, what kind of monthly payment can you afford, and then we'll go out and start looking at properties. Keep in mind, this is not a mistake that I see only from first-time home buyers, but there might have been someone who's bought 2 or 3 homes in the past and hasn't done a transaction in a while. It's really important to refresh those financials with a lender so that we know the price point we're looking at. And also, we don't want to make a blind offer and then later get rejected because we don't have a current pre-approval. The second mistake that I often see is not researching the neighborhood. I'll tell you from experience, that is the first place that I start. You know this if you're watching this video and you've bought a house with me. The first place we go is neighborhoods. What kind of lifestyle is in the neighborhood? Do you actually identify with that neighborhood? The homes, the parks, the views, the access to the beach, whatever it might be that you're looking for, if we start searching by area and neighborhood first, finding a house becomes that much easier. Now, the best way to do this, if you're watching this right now and you're like, yes, that is exactly how I want to start shopping, you need to shoot me a text message, because it's as simple as texting me, hey, Ryan, I want to come down to San Clemente, I want to check out this city, and I want to know the neighborhoods that you think would work for me. Let's hop in my car and go drive the neighborhoods. We don't even need to have any houses to look at. I just first want to see, do you like the community? Do you like the types of houses that are offered in this tract or in this neighborhood? And then it's going to be so much easier to find a property, because even if there isn't anything on the market, I will find it for you. There are other ways to find properties than just what's on the MLS. So make sure and shoot me a text message if you're thinking about doing that. The sooner the better. Mistake number 3, skipping the home inspection. Back in 2020 and 2021, this became a thing where buyers were having to hastily make offers and sometimes remove their home inspection contingency. It's just a recipe for disaster. Another thing that I've seen sometimes is where a buyer or buyer's friend or buyer's parent is formerly a contractor or has done a lot of their own home inspections in the past. That's a big red flag. Let the home inspector do their thing. What you don't want to happen is you buy the house, you get in there, you start living in the property, and you've got a leaky pipe here, or the furnace actually doesn't blow hot air like we thought it did. That's why it's so crucial to just pay the $500, $600, $700 to the home inspector. Let them spend their 2 or 3 hours fine-tooth combing everything while you go around and take measurements, figure out where you're gonna put your favorite couch or where you're gonna put the flat screen TV. Home inspection day for you is to do those things while the actual professional tells you what's going on with the property. Now, here's a little bonus tip for you on inspections. I'm in San Clemente. We have a lot of hills. We have a lot of view property, homes that are close to the beach. A lot of times people will ask me about, hey, the foundation, should I get that checked out? Absolutely. I have geotechnical professionals that will come out and give you a consultation on the property. Every house is going to be a case-by-case basis, but that is a question that I do get asked a lot. So You might even be watching this and be in a situation where you're in escrow on something and you need a good reference. Shoot me a text. I don't mind sharing my references for your benefit. Mistake number 4 is not considering future needs. It's very important to consider what needs will I have in the future after living in the property a few years. Buying a house is a huge investment, and you're gonna wanna make sure that it's gonna meet your needs for years to come. You don't want to be a home buyer that's constantly buying and selling, because real estate costs to sell, they add up. You can, budget 6.5% for every time you sell a property. You're gonna start to chew into a lot of your equity and your ability to build wealth in real estate if you're constantly flipping over homes that you live in personally. Some common examples: are you gonna be starting a family? Do you need a home office? Do you need more yard space? Is the house on a busy street? Things like this are hugely important to consider. Another thing to consider is the property in an HOA. Are there any CC&Rs that might limit you from expanding the property one day, or from adding a jungle gym, or painting the house the color that you really want it to be? Let's consider everything when finding that house. The last mistake I see is overextending on the budget. We talked earlier about getting pre-approved. It's why it's so crucial. However, I don't necessarily recommend that you should run out and buy a house that takes you to your absolute maxed pre-approval monthly payment. I have people tell me all the time, like, I don't want to be house poor. I don't want to spend all my money on my monthly payment and not have money to enjoy where I live, go out to dinner, take vacations. So let's really analyze that when we're looking at properties. It helps to have a conversation with me about this. It helps to have a conversation with your lender. And it's better to do that too before you get attached to a property and make an emotional decision. So that's why I see this as being a common mistake, and it's avoidable by just, consulting. Let's talk it through. If you're wondering right now, I'm getting paid this much, I might have a bonus coming up, what do I qualify for? Let's get you involved in a conversation with a lender. I've got a couple of great lenders here in town that can walk you through your pre-approval. Shoot me a text. Let me know what you're thinking about buying. Let me know if it's in 2 months, 8 months, 12 months. I'm talking to people right now that plan to move to San Clemente in 2 years. How cool is that? We're engaged in a discussion now. They're going to be perfectly planned out when it comes time to make the move. So if that's you, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a text message and I'll talk to you then.